What's up, guys? January 2nd coming at you. We are headed to work on the truck, but first we're actually headed to run a couple errands. I've got to find some steel, get a couple cutoff wheels. We're going to attack the truck a little bit differently than previously planned. It's going to add some time to our build, but that's okay. The timeline that's set on this truck, we set it. So the cool thing about that is you can move the goalpost. It's your goalpost. You're the only one playing the game. So we're going to push back our timeline a little bit, and we're going to try to do this once and do this right. So we found some spots on the frame that need some attention. We're going to focus on those a little bit and see how far we get today. 80. Round stop. Founded it. Okay. Well, that was more than it should have been, but 80 bucks. We got material and cutoff wheels. We didn't find any sheet that we needed, but we can at least get the frame fixed, or at least get that repair headed in the right direction. All right, made it to the shop, got the stuff we were after. And let me start, before we get after it in this video, every time you find something, your plans are gonna change. That's okay. Just adapt and push forward. I spent half of dinner last night looking up frame specs just to make sure I could get the right thickness. And that turned out to be a completely fruitless search. No matter how many forums or how many places I searched, I'd get conflicting results. And so I took a gamble, just going off memory and dumb blind luck. And I'll be honest, it's more on the luck side. So Ace, because I live out in the sticks, they are my closest place to get any kind of scrap metal that's usable, had this 1/8 inch stick, 3 inch by 3 foot piece of steel that they'd sell me. Good deal, right? Real good deal when you consider I was after 1/4 inch because I thought it was going to be too thin. Turns out 1/8 inch is about dead on for an F100. So that's really good news. New plan is, because we keep finding stuff, is we're going to start at the front of the truck and work our way back. That's going to do two things. It's going to keep the chaos slightly under control, and it's going to make sure that while we proceed with repairing the truck, we're not forgetting things. We're going to start at the very front of the truck, work our way all the way to the back, conceding the fact that this has become more of a full-blown restoration rather than just get it back on the road. I'm good with it. It's what I wanted in the end anyway. It's just happening a little unscheduled. So I'm going to get changed. I'm going to eat my tacos because got to feed the fire here. And then we're going to start on the front of this truck. So I got a couple cutoff wheels today. And we're going to start by cutting in the frame sections that we need to repair. This isn't a torch, this is rust. So this core support sat on these little rubber discs, right? You can see how the frame comes out to accommodate this. They sit there, core support sits on that, hunky-dory. So because I don't have new ones of these, this is going to get just replaced, and I'm not even going to drill the hole quite yet. We're going to drill the hole when we get ready to go back together. So for today, we're going to cut out the rust, cut us some patch panels, get them in there, get them all welded up, ground down, dressed, ready to go. And then we're going to move back, examining every bit of frame to the firewall. If we find that nothing else is messed up, we'll start going after cab mounts. All right, first thing we got to decide is how much you want to cut out. And this one's actually going to be super easy. So again, going back to how the frame steps out here, I'm just gonna set this in there. And that's how much I'm gonna cut out. It's just this. Beep. Beep. Give me some paint on that bad boy. Get it all marked out. And then of course, take a Sharpie on the bottom side and put you a little mark. And then just like that, both pieces are marked for cutout. So I'm gonna cut these out and I'm just gonna go along the top here and follow that shape. And what that means is when we go back together, I might have to knock the corners off here, which is no big deal. So for the sake of keeping everything okay and right and saving myself the headaches, one side at a time, one piece at a time. I recommend everybody do that or you get in over your head way faster than you're ready for. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop this one out of both the new steel and the frame, and grab my magnets and all that stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and touch up the edges, and then we'll have you come back as soon as that's all cut and ready for tack. Ta-da! Okay, so we've got that all cleaned up, cut out, but now we've got to fit our new piece. So you can see, following the frame shape, this is actually curved, not straight, so that's not going to go in there all pretty and straight, right? So what we're going to do is set it on top like so, to where the front edge is even, and we're going to run a Sharpie on our bottom side, and then using our flap disc, we're going to make this shape and this shape match. Okay, so down to the marks, we got it ground down. Let's go check. Fitment is, I'm happy with it. So we got that nice gap all the way around, and then this front edge here, we've got the tiniest bit hanging over, which is exactly what we want. The reason is because when we're done welding, we can, while we're dressing it, we can grind it all down and make it all pretty, and it'll look like we were never here, which is the sign of a good repair. Obviously, looks are secondary to function, so strong repair is good repair. Pretty repair is a great repair. All right, we've got that all welded in. Now, I'm not gonna drill the hole in this yet because one, my core support's not even in the building anymore. And two, we're gonna drill that hole exactly where we want it when we go to fit the front end. So we're gonna knock these welds down now, make it all nice and pretty, and then we can go ahead and attack the other side and get it done as well. All right, and that is a finished frame repair. So when the time comes to hang the core support, we'll get it set up here and squared and where we want it, and we'll drill our holes so that they're the right size and in the right place. but I'm gonna go ahead and knock that one out, make it look like that one, and then we'll see what else today brings us. Again, I'm gonna start at the front of the chassis and work back. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out that repair and inspect everything from the firewall forward. Make sure we're happy with it. Make sure we're good with it. If we have to order parts, we will. From what I can tell, mostly it just needs cleaned and then chassis coated. And if that's all it needs, then we're gonna move on and get to the cab mounts. Like a glove. Like not an OJ glove, like a loose fitting glove. More like a mitten. Side number 2, weld it up. Grab the trusty grinder, knock these down, let it cool, apply some primer. We'll have a fixed frame. Yes, sir. Primer. Get both sides of that bad boy. Okay, we're gonna let that primer set up for a few minutes before we start throwing any more sparks. Last thing I wanna do is take my primer, sling a bunch of red hot, untreated, uncoated steel at it, burn through the primer while it's wet, and now I've got stuff that's starting to rust process all over again. So we're gonna give it a little bit to just stop being tacky. So overall, happy with that repair for now. Looks like we're done from the cross members forward. This is a greasy turd from all the leaking engines that have been in it for the last 60 years. So I don't have any degreaser here, and rather than stop, oily metal won't rust. So we're gonna leave that alone for now and push on and see what we need to do back here. So now it's all set up. Like it, love it, happy with it. Getting my light set up so that I can start working on things on the firewall. And I've got some decisions to make. I've also got to clean up underneath. I've still got the trans cross member and all the bolts that hold that in sitting underneath the truck. I need to get rid of that so they don't get lost or kicked. And so what I'm gonna do is clean up the mess I just made. Frame, good to go. I'm going to start coming up with a plan to attack these cab mounts. What I'm probably gonna do is yank the cab mounts, make sure the welds on the floor pans themselves are pretty, no light, no pinholes. I'm gonna address all those, and then we'll start worrying about putting the cab mounts on. But since we just did frame repair, I'm gonna call that a good place to stop this video. But fear not, there's plenty of more to come, because when they're old, they're gold, but you gotta polish them first. So I've got to dig out this mount and start coming up with a plan for all that stuff. So just a reminder that today is kind of the official last day of 1 video a day for 2 weeks. I gave it my all. Y'all got videos every day for 2 weeks. I hope at least some of it was entertaining. I appreciate y'all coming along. Tomorrow, not 100% sure what we're gonna be doing. If I have time to get in the shop to work on this, I will. I know the wife's car needs an oil change. Got some stuff on the property to handle. But next week, on Monday, I've got to go back to work, which means Sunday, I'm actually meeting all the employees up at the shop, and we're gonna move everything back into the shop. It's been sitting in storage containers for 2 weeks while the shop got renovated. So, got that going on. I'm not sure I'm gonna be back in here until Monday after work. So, keeping that in mind, rather than having all day to make you guys a video, it'll probably be all week to make you guys 1, maybe 2 videos. But I'll keep you updated. I'll keep dropping shorts. I appreciate you guys for following along. To everyone that joined in the last 2 weeks, man, thank you so much. You motivate me to keep going. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep working here for a little bit behind the scenes. When I have something to show you, I'll bring you guys back. I appreciate it. Hope you like the videos. Let me know what you want to see and on what car. I got a bunch of them. Let's keep rolling. 2026 is going to be a great year, guys. Thank y'all very much.